Right. Let's jump straight into this explainer and tackle what might honestly be the ultimate DIY laptop challenge. Today, we're demystifying the notoriously tedious keyboard replacement for a mid-2012 MacBook Pro. Look, if you own the A1278 13-inch or the A1286 15-inch model, you probably already know these machines are legendary for their longevity and upgradability. But when it comes to the keyboard, yeah, things get incredibly complicated. We're going to break down exactly what it takes to resurrect your machine.
Here's our map for the journey ahead. We'll cover the MacBook Keyboard Challenge, gearing up for battle, the Great Teardown, extracting the keyboard, reassembly and testing, and finally, is it worth it?
Section 1. The MacBook Keyboard Challenge. So you might be wondering, why even take on an advanced 2 to 4 hour operation like this in the first place? Well, usually our hand is forced. Have you ever dealt with a liquid spill right in the middle of a massive project? Or maybe you've got unresponsive keys or corrosion on the internal membrane that's just completely ruining your workflow. Yeah, it's those exact moments that leave us with literally no other choice.
I mean, a single broken key mechanism like this one, or just an isolated damaged keycap, sure, that might just require a quick piece replacement. Easy enough, right? But once multiple keys fail or liquid actually compromises the membrane underneath, that's it. The entire keyboard assembly simply has to go.
Now, you really need to prepare yourself for the sheer scale of this replacement. To get the old keyboard out and the new one secured, you aren't just snapping a piece into place. No way. You're going to be dealing with over 70 tiny microscopic screws. Honestly, just keeping track of this little metallic army is half the battle.
Section 2, gearing up for battle. Okay, so you really have to weigh your options carefully here. You've got option 1, replacing just the keyboard. This is the least expensive route, and hey, it lets you keep your original aluminum top case. But it is incredibly labor-intensive because of those 70-plus screws we just talked about, and there is a really high risk of damaging the delicate backlight. Then you have option 2, replacing the entire uppercase assembly. This is definitely more expensive, but it's highly recommended by technicians because the keyboard is already installed for you. It's just a much easier, safer path. But let's say you choose the hard path. You're going to need a massive arsenal for this. We're talking Phillips 00 and 000 screwdrivers, Torx T6 and T8 drivers, spudgers for safely prying connectors, tweezers for routing tiny cables, and you absolutely must have small containers to organize those 70 screws. Oh, and an anti-static wrist strap? Definitely a smart move so you don't accidentally fry your logic board.
Section 3. The Great Teardown.
All right, the absolute most vital first step here is using a spudger to disconnect the battery. Seriously, never work inside with the power connected. Once the power is cut, you have to strip this machine down to its absolute shell. You're pulling out the hard drive, the optical drive, the fans, the airport card, the speakers. Literally everything you see has to come out just to clear the path. It's frankly an overwhelming list of major components to safely remove and organize. Once the drives and fans are out, you have to carefully extract the logic board. Then you open the MacBook slightly, support the screen, remove the hinge screws, and completely detach the display assembly. Make sure you don't drop it. Finally, you remove the trackpad mounting screws and ribbon cable, pulling the trackpad out from right underneath where the keyboard sits.
Section 4. Extracting the keyboard. So you've stripped the computer down to an aluminum husk. Now imagine the sheer relief of finally separating the old keyboard. After carefully removing and organizing every single one of those 70-plus screws, physically peeling that metal keyboard away from the uppercase is a massive, massive milestone in this repair. But hold on, tread very carefully here. Before you completely yank the old keyboard out, you must painstakingly handle the keyboard backlight. It's that large black sheet covering the back. It is incredibly delicate. If you rush this step and the sheet tears, well, you'll be left working in the dark even with a brand new keyboard. Section 5. Reassembly and testing. Okay, the old keyboard is out, the new one is perfectly aligned, and all 70-plus screws are back in. Now, you must meticulously reverse your teardown steps. The delicate backlight sheet goes on, then the trackpad, the display assembly, the logic board, the fans, speakers, drives, and finally the battery. As you do this, you really have to double-check every single ribbon cable and ZIF connector so nothing gets pinched. And this is absolutely crucial. Test before tightening. Do not install a single bottom cover screw until you open the lid, connect your charger, and turn the MacBook on. You need to test every single letter, the number keys, the function row, the trackpad, and the keyboard backlight.
If a cable isn't seated right, you want to know right now, definitely not after you've sealed the whole computer shut.
Section 6. Is it worth it?
We've reached the end of the manual. Now, the mid-2012 MacBook Pro is celebrated as a highly repairable notebook. If you actually enjoy tinkering, want to save some cash, and have the right tools, this is an incredibly rewarding project. It can literally add years to your machine's life. But you have to balance that against reality. If you've never opened a laptop or you feel totally uncomfortable tracking 70 microscopic screws, well, this might not be the project to start your DIY journey with.
So, after witnessing the full scale of this teardown mountain, what's your verdict? Do you have the patience and the precision to conquer the 70-screw challenge? Or is your sanity worth the cost of a professional repair? It's a true test of DIY courage. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy repairing, whichever path you choose.